Those of you that view the channel on a regular basis will realise the importance that I place on straight cueing. Now I'm well aware that there are some top players that don't cue in a straight line, but the one thing they do is that little flaw, if we can call it that little flaw, it's consistent. They do the same thing all the time, right? So, and for my mind, the best way to be consistent is to cue in a straight line all the time. Now, I'm making reference to other videos where I'm asking you to examine your cueing, say, on the baulk line. That's one good way of doing it. Another good way was to pop the white into one of the corner pockets and see if your cue is still pointing to that same stitch once you've finished the shot. All good ways of testing your cueing. Another one I like to use is this, where I'm got the red on the pink spot, the white's about a foot away, and I'm just knocking the red into the pocket, but I'm examining where that red is going. Is it going into the centre of the pocket, to the left of the pocket, or to the right of the pocket? Am I consistent, or is there slight variations? Now, one thing that I've done here at the bequest of Phil, my cameraman, is to put the cue cam on. Now, Phil's got the impression that I can put anything on the cue and it won't affect the cueing. I'm afraid he's wrong on that. It certainly affects my cueing, but I'll do the best I can. So here, dead straight pot. I'm just playing a trickle shot. All right, dead straight and just following through gently. Now, yeah, you'll notice that the red's gone in the centre of the pocket. The white is pretty much in a straight line, so quite pleased with that shot. All right, we should do that a couple of times, from the same spot. And just make sure that you're consistent with it. So again, I'm aiming for the centre of the pocket. And this time, pretty much into the centre of the pocket and pretty much following it with the white. So this time what we'll do, we'll examine the cueing again this time, right? But this time we'll play it with a stun shot. Don't forget to short your cue. A stun shot, and let's see what happens this time. Now the red's gone in pretty much the centre, but the white's drifted over to the left. So maybe I've got a little touch of side on that white ball, and there's an area where it needs a little bit of examination. So that stun shot became more of a stun run through. Let's see if we can screw back this time. So we're just screwing back. Now you'll notice the red's gone in the middle of the pocket and the white's still on the line. If I've got a little touch of side on this white, just remember the red might go over to one side of the pocket, the white would drift slightly offline. It's well worth just examining all the time there. And remembering, of course, that potting a straight ball should be the easiest shot on the table. What makes it more difficult is the fact that when you start to do something with the white ball, that's when your potting goes adrift. So here now what I'm going to do is just make it go a little bit more difficult by increasing the distance. So instead of a foot, we're coming to 2.5 feet here. Little mark on the table. And let's see what happens this time. Again, dead straight, remember. So we'll go back to the gentle shot and see what happens. So there, quite happy with that shot. Red's gone in the middle of the pocket. The white's followed through. Quite pleased with that. No side or anything on that shot. But once I start putting a little action onto the white ball, maybe that will examine the cueing a little more. So again, chalk your cue, and we'll play a soft little screw shot. Not worried how far I screw back, just 6 or 7 inches, and let's see what happens to the red ball. So here we go. Now you notice that I've gone over to the right of the pocket as I look at it, and the white ball's gone over to the left. Now is that because I've put a little bit of side on, or that I've aimed slightly wrong, or both? I just need to check these things all the time. So we'll just do a stun run through now. Let's see what happens this time. Stun run through shot. Quite happy with that. The red's gone into the centre of the pocket. The white, just slightly off the line, which is not good. But I'd be happy that, you know, I'm working hard on my game. Now, if you really want to test your cueing, we'll go back to the foot business now, foot away on this one. See if you can pop the red and the white in the same pocket. All right, and that's a real good test of straight cueing and centre ball striking. So here we go, make sure they're dead straight, and then just practice your cueing. Get them both in the same pocket. And they both have gone into the centre of the pocket, so obviously I'm very pleased with that. Quite easy to do from the distances that I'm involved with there. Again, the greater the distance, the more complicated it gets and the more difficult it gets, right? But if you've got a problem, think about whether I'm aiming incorrectly, check it on the baulk line, whether I'm putting side on. I've made reference to another video where I look down on the cue ball, all right? And that can tell you an awful lot. If you're really examining your cueing, the baulk line is one good method. Aiming for the stitch with the back of a pocket, that's another good method. Going over the spots from the brown, the blue, pink and black, back to the cue, another good method. And if you really want to examine it, put the blue on the spot. I've made reference to this in another video. The blue on the spot, the white on the brown spot, knock the blue over the pink and the black spot, rebounding off the cushion, and see if you can make it hit that cue ball. Real solid test of examining your cueing. To sum it all up, a lot of your average club players don't like the straight shot. Well, again, summing that up, the reason they don't like that straight shot, generally speaking, is because their cue action is inconsistent. They don't always cue in the same manner. So when they come to this angle shot here, they may well pop that ball into that corner pocket and be pleased, quite rightly, that they have done. But set it up again and try again, they would probably miss more than they would get. And the reason they miss more than they get, again, comes back to that inconsistency in cueing. So don't be frightened to practice these straight shots. Develop that consistency in your cueing. And then when you've got that consistency, that angle shot there, you will get more than you miss. So get practicing, get thinking about it, and good luck with that practice.